First the skies, then the crystal.
What the hell? What the hell? Oh my god, I thought this was it. Got more? Making amends. Master Clive, I'm aware there are matters of greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves. I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness Prince Dion.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Let's find out, I suppose. A tale to tell. Oh, they're not even giving it to me all in a single batch. They're gonna stagger it. I'd rather you gave all of them to me all at once, really. But hey, I was gonna come over anyway, so this is perfect. Hippocrates, what's wrong with Dion?
Lawsman Hippocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment.
He's free now.
His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
You want to give Dion a flower? A wyvern tail.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. Despite scouring the shelves, I have found only one reliable reference to a place where wild wyvern tails are known to have grown. But it is in Waloed, by a waterfall near Rickmal's roost, as I told you. I dare not ask that you undertake such a long and perilous journey on my account, of course, but were you to find yourself in the area?
It is a ash thingy again. Okay.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
We won't read long, just a little bit. Because I think we're pretty close to being done anyway.
What subject shall we consider today?
Valisthea. Ash and Storm. Mothercrystals. Ultima came here countless eons ago, fleeing from the blight that devoured his own homeland, and resolved to rebuild the world to usher in a new and final age of pure reason. It was he who placed the Mothercrystals in each corner of the land that they might harvest the ether he needed to achieve this end. Okay, and that must be kind of what he's doing right now. Relevant topics, huh? Mysteries of the realm, there's still... The Deluge of Blood. A great war that occurred in ancient times between the few who bear the blessing and the many who do not. It ended in decisive victory for the unblessed masses and the signing of the Continental Accord, which cemented the systematic subjugation of the bearer minority. Which is crazy, how did they even win? It was not until 100 years later that the first Eikons were to emerge, their human hosts being named Dominant, after the savior myth of the Circle of Malleus, which held that the Lord's return would be heralded by the appearance of his heavenly servants, most wondrous and most dominant. Such was the awesome power of these creatures that the authorities had no option but to exempt them from the system of slavery, announcing them to be something other than a lowly bearer and deserving of the highest honor, lest they should side with their fellow oppressed and bring a second deluge upon the masters' heads. Oh, okay. Oh, this was... Wow. This entry has a lot of lore I'm interested in here. Yeah, but I do feel like once the Dominants appeared... So they appeared after 100 years after the Accord was signed. Oh, I do feel like the appearance of the Dominants should bring about some change to the system, but maybe we didn't get to that point yet. Executors, shadowy cabal who control the truth by collecting and concealing any knowledge they believe should remain hidden. They think they're the guardians of humanity, but they are just trying to control the truth. They think from a distance shows shameful history of the enslavement of bearers, which is the truth, okay? Which I think we need to publicize that book. That book is why Vivian became a scholar, and she's been very helpful to us, so I think it's good. From a distance, a tome that lays bare the buried truth of the avarice and the vanity of mankind. Upon its publication, the powers that be did everything in their power to inherit once more, along with its author. It tells the history of the bearers, those once worshipped and adored as bearers of the heavenly blessing, earning them the moniker they hold to this day, and how they came to be despised, oppressed, and enslaved by the unblessed masses. The executors try to get it, but we're not letting them. The Undying. Secretive Order. Their loyalty to His Grace Joshua Rossfield is absolute, and none among them would hesitate to lay down their lives for his sake. At his command, their efforts are currently devoted to uncovering the truth behind the mysterious being known as Ultima. They're crazy, okay? They need to care about themselves a little bit more. They're not very effective. The Mekia Republic. After the fall of Drake's Fang, Akashic soldiers and orcs came to the capital and destroyed whatever's left. However, Prince Dion came to save the day, and so I guess it's not dead yet. It's only a little bit, like 99% dead. Randala is where that happened. Since Ultima brought about Primogenesis, Randala's streets have been all but abandoned to Akashic Waluder soldiers and beastmen on the hunt for flesh. Yeah. Lord Underhill. Clive's alter ego, albeit one that was forced upon him by Lubor's fondness for theatrics. It was Lord Underhill of the Randala League of Merchants who made it known to Natalie that help from the capital would not be forthcoming, and that the people of Dalamil must work together to fill their own stores. Jill was rather more convincing in the role of Lady Jane of the Red Wings, who planted the idea of forming a town guard in Conrad's mind. Both Conrad and Natalie still address Clive by his name, though in Natalie's case, I think she knows. Yeah. Alright.
Did you learn everything you needed?
I think we can continue to go back to Ash. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Let's prioritize the right ones. A tale to tell. This is an Ash. And then I think there was another one that was an Ash, right? We might have to go pick it up first. Oh, which we can do... right here. A tale to tell. Wasn't there something... I guess we did it already. Okay. Finish it up.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
I think we have to fight that worm in question, probably. Immediately get going.
No holding back.
Hey! Pretty nice, huh? Will Earth and Fury even do anything to this guy? Maybe not. Good, good, good. Zantetsuken powering up. Now we can get to the full level 5? A little bit more. Just a tad more. Now. Oh, beautiful. And then that's pretty much it. Give me your tail.
Skill with a blade.
It dropped dragon talons. No. Because we're looking for a flower called wyvern's tail. Not an actual wyvern's tail.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Okay. Alright, we're done here. I think that's it for Waloed. Where should we go next? Boklad Tabor. Tabor has the thing with Joshua. Want to do that one first? That one seems like it'll be interesting. Yeah, let's try to do this in little sections. Duty Undying, where there's a will. Continuation of the Undyings' storyline.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I know that I asked much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you. Your father.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After
She?
all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril.
The archive where?
Shall we then?
Wait, but Cyril, I have other questions about... You're gonna tell me about the Ultima thing, right? I went and got the paper for you, the research papers, and you're gonna tell me about it. We're not quite done just yet. Just out of curiosity, where is your archive? That's a different thing. That's other stuff for now. Cyril!
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash,
Oh man.
a continent teeming with orcs and Akashic.
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the third chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
I thought you didn't agree with that.
It would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed. If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
Looks like we're gonna have to go back to Ash again sometime. Try to clear them all out, but it's difficult. They bring it here and there.
When last I heard from him, the third chair was bound for Mickleburg. If you mean to seek him out, my lord, I can think of no better place to start.
That's fine.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
Joshua spoke, my god. No, Joshua, we should probably do the thing about our dad's will first, which... Where there's a will? What? Oh, she's right here. Okay, she's around the corner. I see.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
Well, I hope we can do it. First Order of the Archaeologians, Dalmekian Wing. 53rd Monthly Report, Item 1. Further discoveries from our acolyte ensconced within the recently displaced mountain dwellers' remote settlement. The diminutive tribe's main village appears to be in receipt of regular deliveries of supplies from Hugo Kupka's Men of the Rock. On inquiring with the locals, it became apparent that they have the deepest respect for the one they called Lord Kupka, but whether he has merely bought their loyalty, or if there is some deeper connection between the tribe and the Titan remains unclear. A lot of research here.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society committed to discovering how one might cast magicks without a catalyst was found to be operating throughout Valisthea. They were denounced as heretics, rooted out, and driven from our shores, never to be seen again.
The same kind of heretic that Vivian was talking about? The Executors is another fellowship. Lord Cyril, Acolyte station across Valisthea reported a curious change in the primeval structures we have come to refer to as monoliths, following the fall of Drake's tail and the change in the skies. Oh, this is probably related to the chronolith becoming available now? Allow me to present the preliminary findings of our archaeologians' investigations into those monoliths most near at hand. We were able to visually confirm the activation of the structure in the northern reaches of the Velcroy, but a sandstorm forced our temporary retreat. We will make a second attempt when the wind drops. In Draco's Deep, our team was able to make direct contact with the monolith. However, no further change was observed upon touching its surface, nor upon dealing it several stout blows with both fist and blade. Whatever the purpose of its activation, it would appear to be other than that of defensive echoes we have encountered among previous relics of the fallen and their predecessors. We shall continue our investigations both of the monoliths proper and of any historical writings that might refer to them, and inform your lordship forthwith should they produce any discoveries of note. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart. Tomaj, Second Order of Archaeologians. Hi?
My lord, your grace.
Someone who worked for us?
I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rossfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rossfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Okay, we'll do it.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see.
Great.
We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes, In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rossfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Another day, another griffin.
The griffin your father meant to slay is currently nesting in Titan's wake, not far from here. Slay it in his stead, and claim the Heartstone that he could not.
You didn't even give me the armband yet.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
So we should be faster. We should be hasty because she's been waiting a long time. Hello, Elder Griffin? Simmer.
There it is.
I thought you were gonna automatically dismount.
Rossfield.
No, come down here. Witch's ladder. Woo! No, don't do that. Do we have time? It won't let me activate it. I do not have time to activate Dancing Steel, but I need to. Okay, I give up. It won't give me time. We just have to do without. Here we go. Sit still. These guys are actually quite vicious. Look at them.
I need it.
Here we go. Now I gotta take the armor darkness out. And use it. Come on, come on, come on. Beautiful. How much damage did it actually do is another story. These guys are a little bit tough. They do a lot of damage.
Nice try.
No, 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 I got you, I got you. You got a whole pattern going on. This good enough? It's just that the animations take a little bit long for the Zantetsuken. All the skills and all that.
You lose.
Yes, Zantetsuken finisher. Now I suppose I gotta bring this back. Heartstone. Griffins suffer something akin to the crystals' curse, their flesh slowly turning to stone over a lifetime of channeling ether. Unlike bears, however, this is more gradual and limited to a sac around their hearts, the slower progress of petrification resulting in the formation of a gemstone of rare beauty.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Just one, though. Did we need two? Oh, we have two.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It's just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
I don't know how to feel about that thing basically being like a crystallization of the same thing that's happening to bearers, though. That seems a bit like, we're like beautifying this thing.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as phoenix and shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
Very impressive that you were able to fulfill your duty despite all that, but I do feel like, are we putting a little bit too much sentiment on inanimate objects? It's just an armband at the end of the day. I know my father loves me. It's nice to see a physical form of it, but I don't need an armband.
I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
Come join us at the hideaway or something.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Should we pay Father a visit?
I think we should.
Well, if you put it like
I was hoping
that...
to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril.
Hawk's Cry Cliff in Rosaria.
Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Okay, we will go there. I want to do something semi-logical with trying to finish up the quests and all that, but they're making me go everywhere for this. While we're still in Dhalmekia, there's other stuff we can do, so I think I'll do this first. Aiming high, you can see it on the side here. We're getting... Defeat a desert tour in Karava and obtain oil from Oddhill. So this is the... desert tour, I guess?
Here we are again. Karava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide?
Here. I would hide right here. The Adamantoids.
It looks like we found him.
These are all annoying and level 40. And they have a lot of health and all that. No! Oh my god, just look at that health bar. It's not going. This is terrible.
Sick 'em.
Try to get to level 5 before I switch out. Here we go. Here's the level 5. Cutting your sinews. Following it up with a Giga Flare. How do you feel about that? Giga Flare plus Lightning Rod, I'm told, is pretty crazy. Can I try it though? I will have to see. Oh yeah, Ignition doesn't work on you, that's right. Gonna get some health back here. Oh. You can still get it while you're a little turtle. Just a tad more. Ow, 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 ow. Here we go. Sinews cut. Oh, Ignition doesn't work, of course. I keep forgetting this. Goodbye.
Farewell.
And may I never see you again. The oil being in Oddhill is somewhere else. We got the shell.
If Mid needs another, she can come and get it herself.
Yeah, she can. She can. So that's that. That was the other thing that was here. I think there is still... Well, these are entirely new quests. I'm gonna finish some up before we come back here, okay? Just to keep things manageable. Rosaria to find my dad. Oh, Oddhill Docks. Isn't there something here? Yeah, we gotta go get the oil. We can get the oil first. Sure. This is just sitting right here.
Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all.
This is the one docks area that we just... wasn't much to do here, really. It's just empty. We got 1 out of 2.
I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Before we do that, we can go visit our dad. Hero's Bluff.
Come on.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Well,
It's just back there.
it's hard when the enemy is your mother. She loved Joshua at least, so maybe that could have counted for something. Why was my father buried here?
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
You know, while Clive was talking about how, oh, father is the ideal that I've been trying to live up to. Yes? He's watching over us.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Was thinking about how Clive looks a lot like his dad, whereas Joshua looks like his mom, I guess. Just talking about hair colors. Yeah, this will go back to my thing. It makes me wonder if Joshua ever had any sort of complexes about that. Like, hey, how come I don't look like my dad at all, even though everyone loves my dad? Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Wasn't that already the case? Oh, okay. Sure. Ah, okay, well, that's that. But it looks like we have something else in here still, because Torgal has been wanting to meet me at the docks. Can that actually happen, by the way? Like, somebody has kids and then they come up with completely different hair colors? I thought the whole recessive gene stuff would be the same every time, wouldn't it? I guess unless if it's, like, not recessive. It's more chance-based at that point. Here's the dock.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy.
I was just gonna say, Joshua's not joining us, is he? Immediately after they said he would. God, is a rowing animation really so expensive? Where the heck are we?
This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on.
Missed. Where the heck are we?
Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
Oh my god, let's go.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Oh. Oh, baby Torgal.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy?
Armor pieces?
This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting.
It's so crazy how he found us in the desert.
Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
Basically, we're doing a whole bunch of quests and we'll find all these little items back at the hideout later, in Clive's room. Oh, you're not nearly as cute anymore, Torgal, but I still love you so.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming.
There's more?
I think I know where we're going.
Okay. Overlooking the castle.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Nice little just reminiscing about the past. Torgal. Torgal is always with us, but we don't really spend too much quality time with him. He's always by our side, is pretty much it. We'll see these things back in the hideout.
Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
Okay. Now I wonder if I should go back really quickly again, or should I continue? There's a new quest. What the heck? Let's pick it up.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
The oil.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
You're joking.
And a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children.
Yes! That's what I was
When they took apart
thinking!
your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
You told them to take it apart, because they said that Miss Middle said if you want to understand how something works, you gotta take it apart and put it back together.
Has mentioned a new project?
Kids! Where's the cog?
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
It better be an airship.
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Hey, if the scale works without it.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's
all
Miss
for now.
Middle to you.
But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Great job, kids. Thank you for being cooperative. I can't believe you guys didn't put it back in the scales, but I'm also very glad. Hey, Mid.
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? It's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
Thank you.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place. Well, you just wait and see.
Wait, if she's making an airship out of... You know, and the scale little cogwheel is one of the most crucial ingredients, that's a little bit worrying.
That should do it.
Oh, that's useless.
Here goes nothing.
Are you just making a proof of concept?
Titan's tits.
Ew.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, These bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without.
What?
Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
You could say the same for any technology, though.
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it isn't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm going to bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out.
Better than throwing it away completely, I suppose.
Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
I hope you're actually working on a life-size airship and not just that little model.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Throwing stuff away after you invented it feels like someone else will eventually come up with it too. I don't know if that's really that great of an idea.
What shall I do with your model? You spent a lot of time on it. We both did.
What, that old thing? Not healthy to cling to your failures, Clive. They'll weigh you down, you know.
Sound advice.
Still, I suppose my prototypes will probably be worth a fair bit when I'm as famous as Bart's the Builder. Seeing as you're always strapped for coin, suppose I can give it to you. Just make sure you get a good price when you do come to part with it.
I'd say that was up to you as much as me.
I'll put it in my room. I'm not gonna just sell it off.
You're not leaving already, are you?
How do you feel about Origin? Couldn't you have chosen somewhere a bit more down-to-earth for your chat with Ultima? Then I could have come with you. Finally made a name for myself, instead of sitting on me arse, while his Imperial Fancy Pants gets all the glory.
Make a name for yourself.
Without the Enterprise, we wouldn't have saved Jill. wouldn't have made it to Ash, wouldn't have escaped from Stone here with our lives. None of this would have been possible had you not followed your dream and kept your promise to Sid. Now I must keep mine.
You better bloody had to and all.
Or I'll be having his name back. Give it a Gav maybe, or Jill. Aye, definitely Jill. Jill the Sid. But the Enterprise.
Enjoy it while you can, Clive.
Cause once that crystal's cracked, I'm gonna go through with my plan. Won't be easy turning my back on a dream I chased for so long. But you know what the best thing about dreams is, Clive? They're never in short supply. We keep talking like I'm the only one to ever have her sights set on the skies, when there might be someone else up there already.
Imagine that, eh?
Hey, maybe when his Imperial Fancy Pants gets back, I can ask him to take me up there so I can see for myself.
Till then, though.
I'll be down here with everyone else, dreaming away.
Try, Clive.
Yeah, sounds good, but I really hope you don't just throw it away. That does seem a bit wasteful. Who is that? Oh, the wyvern tail for Harpocrates. We have a new mission in our missives. So maybe let's take a look at that first, and then we'll go to Harpocrates. At which point, we can do a little bit of reading again. And Harpocrates wanted this for Dion too, so maybe there's gonna be some follow-up. Pretty likely, actually. Ooh! I feel like we haven't really made a dent in the side quests at all. There's still so many. Oscar! Go to East Pool, please. Hole again. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for you reuniting me with from a distance. The tome made me who I am today, and yet I thought that I should never set eyes upon it again, that those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again thanks to you. I regret that I can only fill the gaps in your knowledge and not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in your debt. It's fine, it's fine. My beloved sons. This is the note that we got from the will, yeah. The wages of fate. From Joshua. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominance sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield. Now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted? What Sid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own paths? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. I don't think we ever said that we didn't want you to help. Yeah, we had that argument before. But I do feel like we're accepting everyone's help. We have to! We can't even get to the origin without flying. A fine hound. From Karen. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have to learn about that hound of yours. Aye, he'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you. But that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of Kupo nuts. You do good to remember that. Kupo nuts, huh? Concern for Jill. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden, even but only a fraction, before we depart for the skies. I would speak on this more in private, Joshua.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Let's hope Jill didn't overhear me saying that. Okay. Harpocrates? Sorry, Uncle, I'll go meet your person at Randala sooner or later. Maybe later.
Clive.
How do you feel about Origin, Karen? Here to say your goodbyes, are you?
Ta-ra then.
For now. But you'd better come back, or I'll fly up there and drag you home by your ear.
Thank you, Karen.
Didn't think you'd find the thought appealing. Look, just don't die, alright? A change in leadership's bad for business. Aye, you're off to kill a god, so what? You've done everything else you put your mind to, haven't you?
You could do this too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Coin purse weighing you down.
grab some potions
You're
while we're
rubbing me
here.
blind, you know. Come again. Oh, don't.
Killing
I'm not much bothered either
a
way.
god. I don't know if that's really gonna be... Well, we've got to give it a go. I come back with Wyvern's tail.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
We're gonna bring him here so that Harpocrates can give him flowers? Alright. Dion, Joshua, hold up.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time.
No.
No, only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself and to him how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
He's got a lot going on. But Harpocrates, let's have a good talk.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
He's harsh on himself.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environment in which they grow lends them this striking hue.
Oh, it's that sambrec flower.
Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Your lineage doesn't define you.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Harpocrates sounds upset.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost.
Everyone's giving me stuff.
I shall not forget this.
You know, I feel like Dion actually has the most to worry about out of everyone here. He's got a lot of issues. It wasn't his fault, but he has to deal with a lot.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Might be better served with Joshua. He was the big reader and all that. Big reader also means big writer, maybe? Bahamut's Mercy accessory. A gift from the very first Emperor of Sanbreque to his infant son. This ring has graced the hand of every dominant of Bahamut since, the ether it absorbed from the Eikon over the years aiding the next Imperial scion in drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. But now the Empire lies in ruin, and that bloodline is broken. So let it be with Bahamut, as was always intended. Well, Dion can have a child, right? And then the bloodline would probably continue. But yeah, on the note of having a child, I feel like, should we bring Terrence back? I don't think we can, but we're kind of chilling out right now. It's not that tense. I feel like you should see Terrence again. No, Lorsman, do you mind if I check out a few entries?
Good morrow to you, my friend.
Dion.
I well recall.
The time I spent at the Imperial Palace instructing the young prince on the history of our realm. He was quite unlike the other noble-born children I had taught, not only for the keenness with which he listened, but for the earnestness of his conviction.
He truly believed
that it was the Empire's duty to serve the people, and was determined to study the past that he might not repeat its mistakes. Which is the reason why what befell Twinside weighs so heavily on his soul. He must live with the consequences, and I fear it will take more than mere time to heal such wounds.
It will take forgiveness.
Not from you or me, nor his countrymen. Not even from his late father, no.
From himself.
Only then might his flower bloom again. Terrence could help with that.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. What subject shall we consider today?
Little bit of new stuff. Airship. Legend has it that the people of the Fallen once sailed through the skies in these ships. The Invincible, in which Clive and his allies have built their new hideaway, being one such relic. The Fallen technology was so good it was basically magic. The Men of Magic Tech. Men of Magical Technology. It's midstream to bring this technology back to life, so that humanity might take flight once more. Can she do it before we go to Ultima? Doesn't sound like it. I hope she can, but I don't know. Wyvern tail. Elegant white flower, but purpley in the wild. From its roots is distilled the dye with which the bearer brand is inscribed. The dye is highly poisonous when it enters the bloodstream, and so it is not uncommon for bearers to lose their lives either upon receiving their brand or during an expert attempt to remove it. It's so vile. This whole concept is so vile. Town Guard from Dhalmekia, the volunteer fighting force, led by Conrad. Dhalmekians gotta fight for themselves. We can't afford to hire mercenaries, so we gotta help out. The League of Merchants, group responsible for filling and maintaining Dalamil's collective stores, so that the economy is still running, led by Natalie. Yep. Cashlock, an old abandoned village built on the banks of Surdra's Thread in the Dhalmekian Republic. It's the abandoned fishing village. Cashlock long served as a depot for crystals ferried up and down the river, but frequent attacks on the slow-moving transports by bandits prompted the Republic to establish new caravan trails for fleet-footed chocobo coursers, essentially rendering the village obsolete. Soon after the final inhabitants departed, wild beasts moved in. However, there is an effort currently underway by Eloise and her Crimson Caravans to rebuild the town and provide it as a safe haven for displaced bearers. Yeah, nice and remote. No one to bother us. Kritov, a small Dhalmekian village of bean farmers and goat herds built in the shadow of fallen ruins. Located at the edge of the fields of Korava. Historically, not many visitors. Most merchants choose instead to take the less perilous gilded path north. Even less now with a blight and all. Drake's spine. It's gone. The spine fell following Clive's otherworldly struggle with Ultima. Fall of Drake's spine in 878, Waluder, capital of Stonehere, already besieged by Akashic and Beastmen, was rocked yet further by the destruction of its mother crystal. Yes. Ravenwit Walls. It fills a narrow valley betwixt two adjacent peaks, creating a nigh impenetrable barrier that serves to protect the royal capital of Stonehere from armies that might attempt to approach it from the southwest. Once manned by a garrison of hundreds, the walls are now empty, save for a handful of orcs and those beasts of war that managed to escape from their pens. Balmung Dark, Colosseum-like prison, north of Ravenwit Walls in Waloed. Bearers are sent here and fed to the Kuza. When the kingdom fell and the wardens lost their wills to the aether, those same bearers were left in their cells to starve, which most did. Is starving to death or getting eaten? I don't know which one's better. Gallarhorn, an aging fortress in Waloed. I don't even remember this. The keep is built on ancient ruins. There's an underground chamber. Oh, it's the place that Joshua went to. It's kind of crazy that we've been searching answers about Ultima for this long, and then suddenly we just come across this random castle in Waloed that is completely okay in pristine condition, and then we find out all the secrets. Okay, let's leave it at that for now.
Did you learn everything you needed?
I don't think that'll be a thing. We'll always have to keep learning. Joshua. What's this about Jill? What should we do about Jill? Oh, hey Torgal.
Joshua, I read your message. And you're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
That would be a good idea, probably.
I can't say my travels ever took me back to Man's Hill. I'm curious to see how it has fared.
Sure, let's check that out then. And that's it for the hideaway for now. Man's Hill. Yeah, before we take people to see stuff, we need to make sure the stuff in question is actually there. Makes sense. Oh, it's very close by. It's not where my father's grave is, right? Oh no, they're dead!
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
Has nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
Are you serious? Okay, you know what? I'm invested in this Jill thing. We'll go back right now.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
Heavens?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Man's Hill is no-go.
Right. Thank you.
Man's Hill is no-go.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
The fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilefeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
300 leagues in search of flowers.
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
We've been here before. Oh, that looks promising, but there's a whole bunch of crap here. Should we get rid of it?
Look, brother. You see them?
I do. The flowers.
Oh, that's
And our friends.
a little bit too much, maybe. Anybody else?
Soil and stone!
We can't get the people in the sky with that, probably. Ow. Yes, watch that get completely nobody.
Nice try.
There's a dragonet up there as well. Oh, it didn't hit anybody. Damn it.
What do you see, boy?
Oilefeist
hope
Bowl.
this is the last
Oh!
Only one way to find out.
Alright, buddy. Come on. Oh, no, no, no. We have to get the heck out of here. A lot of these quests seem to have these gigantic creatures that take forever to kill. Look at the amount of health they have. Like, that's a lot of health.
Odin! Shiva!
I can't even see. New enemies approach. Dude, it's just a daisy field. Why are they guarding this so tightly? It doesn't have to be this way, you know? All right. Here we go. Joshua, you deal with the other stuff. I'll get this dude, maybe. Still not dead. Hey, pretty good stagger damage, finally. Didn't even see what the new enemies that came in were. Thanks, Joshua.
That was harder than I expected.
Yeah.
But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
She better love them. That was a lot of effort we went through just to get some flowers. But Joshua, do you mind maybe not being here when I take her to the flower field? Is that too awful of me?
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Oh, good. Thanks, Joshua. Best bro. We'll go speak with Jill, who has been standing at my balcony. Our balcony? I seriously have no idea where anybody sleeps around here. What now? Oh my god. Before we depart, Ifrit, you have my sincerest gratitude for reuniting me with Master Harpocrates, that I might embark on this most important of journeys, my heart free of regret. Though, in these past few moons I have come to realize that the longer I spend in the company of you and your brother, the deeper I find myself in your debt. We must swiftly see to the menace that is Ultima, if not to save the world, to save me, from an eternity of recompense. Here, here, Dion. No, but we gotta show Jill some flowers first. Treasure hunt. What? You didn't think I was just saying that stuff about hiding my engine, did you? Wouldn't you know? I've already a fine spot picked out and everything. But if you're gonna go on this grand adventure, you'll need to be quick about your business with that ruddy god of yours. Take too long and somebody more clever might beat you to the prize. I suppose in that case I could bury you in one of my lesser inventions. Goddess knows I've countless. Mid. Safe returns. Thank you, Clive, for ever indulging in the whims of this doddering old soul. I am ashamed that for far too many years, I allowed stubbornness and fear to keep me from something so simple as letting a friend know how proud I was of him. Your intervention has lifted a heavy pall from my heart. Perhaps upon your triumphant return from the skies, you might be inclined to set to page that quill I gifted you. There are many of us who would hear a first-hand account of your time with the Holy Prince, myself included. No worries, guys. You don't need to thank me.
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
That area that we went to, it's full of aether flooding and stuff.
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped, so lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling.
Aww. Oriflamme in the background there. It's, oh!
Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
We're asking this now?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
Thank you.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
That's cute. I'm glad we're getting some alone time to just digest everything. So there is somewhere outside of the twins. We just don't know what the world is like.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
I almost wish we had a conversation about what if we just ignored the world and ran away together. That's totally a valid option, is it not? Snow Daisy Garland. Shiva's Kiss. Song of Winter, Autumn Gone. From Frosted Lips, Oblivion. Ooh. That's a nursery rhyme? Okay. Jill has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until parting for Origin. Okay, well, welcome, Jill. Welcome. Is Joshua around? Are you both gonna be here, or is it gonna be one or the other? I've got no clue. Either way, while we're in Northreach, there are some other stuff we can look at. Isabel's looking for me again. And then this one is my Nazaire near Northreach. Ah, this one is the one where the Cursebreaker was like, hey Clive, can you come oversee the testing that we're gonna do for one of our recruits? Because for some reason this one is special.
A fortress?
Right here.
I'm nervous. Is it alright to be nervous?
I don't care either way, so long as you do as I tell you.
Okay, so Joshua and Jill are here.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
No, not Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You will need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
So I don't have to do anything, right? I'm not the one doing the test.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Yeah, this is a real test. If anything bad happens, it will actually become dangerous, which is a bit scary, isn't it? But I guess we'll just have to see. I suspect Isabel's probably looking for me in Northreach to talk about the whole Duke of Orflam versus Philippe situation, which I think we kind of already saw a little bit of what that was about, but we'll see. Just passing by Northreach earlier, it seemed like things were kind of okay. Have I ever been up here before?
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready.
Are there bodies on the ground? Barely saw them. Oh.
Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
What does that mean? Are you scared?
Run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Oh, he got me instead. Caught Avis. It's a baby Avis. It's still pretty damn strong. No, get up! Come on! Didn't get anybody.
This one. Too slow.
At least we have Jill and Joshua now. Should make these fights go a little bit faster, I think. I would hope. Oops. Can I use Zantetsuken yet? I could, but it's not level 5 yet. The time freezing seems so insane. Look at all that.
I needed that.
Oh, that's a very cool ending pose there. What happened? Ember?
Ember, are you...
Well, now you leave?
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Just ditched us? Really? Or maybe he got too ashamed that he left and... I don't know. Kestrel's beak braid. Huh. Eastwatch. Actually haven't been here before. What happened, dude? He didn't come back.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
No, he didn't.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
I do not.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
He's a little bit clever. And I don't know, it's something about the semantics.
This won't be an easy decision.
Okay, if we really have to make a decision, sure, I'll let him in. But I don't think that actually...
Welcome.
Okay, what I think is that's not a pass. Because I'm not going to be there every time. Your plan relies on me being there or someone else being there. I was able to handle it fine, but what if I can't? What if you got someone else killed because of that? So I feel like just based on that, I don't know. That didn't really sit that right with me. I'll agree that he's a little bit clever though.